And you clicked on that new link I sent you. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. No worries. Oh yeah, 6:12 a.m. Sun is, yeah, it's weird. So probably the sun doesn't rise here till maybe like 7 a.m. But yeah, it is very pitch black outside. Hey, now I see you.
All right, I'm gonna hang up here.
All right, Yahoo. Hello, hello.
Well, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. All right, so you got a busy day today.
I do. I have a listing right now that I've had it on market for 2 weeks. I told him he's $5,000 overpriced. He wouldn't listen to me. I said, I'll give you 2 weeks flat, and then we're going to change your price. And we've had 18 showings it's only been on the market in a week. We've had 18 showings in this week. And I told him flat out, I said, you're at the very top of your price range, and you better have granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. And he doesn't have any of those. And he's just kind of one of those guys who needs to learn the hard way. So we're going to go look at a couple of houses today just to kind of get him going. I want to get him to the point where he's seeing things and wanting a house. And sometimes that will encourage them to lower their price $5K, And so he's got to come down five grand. And then when he comes down $5 grand, we'll probably get an offer.
Exactly. Oh,
people don't understand what people don't understand. He goes, well, why don't they just make an offer? I said, because you're too high. You don't understand the mentality of people. They want to see the price they're looking for. Then they'll make you an offer. And then their thought is, well, they'll come in way lower than I can, than I'll accept. I said, that's why we negotiate. It's all about negotiations, my friend.
Right.
Yeah, I just closed a deal yesterday. I closed was a fourplex for one of my investors, and he buys about two a year, and he's bought 7, 8 now from me, and they came in at the price for this fourplex was 3 1/4, and he calls me and says, "Do you think it's a little high?" I said, "I don't think I know it's high." And I said, we did some numbers and calculations and rent histories, and I said, well. I said, I was thinking about coming in at $299. He goes, that's what my thought was as well. So we countered back at their offer. Their counter offer was, we came in at $299 with an offer. They came back full price, and I just called to let the gal up, and I said, here's the deal. If you do your comps, if you do your rent histories, if you do tax values, you're $299 is the best you're going to get for this property. And she goes, okay, we'll take it. So
well, that was nice.
Yeah, I found a financing source for investors. I have a couple of banks that traditionally, if you're going to buy properties, investment properties, they want you to have a minimum of 6 months reserves for each property.
Right.
Well, I've got a couple of banks in town that if you already have existing properties, and you want to buy additional properties, you don't want to use your own cash. Or if you even have enough cash, he said, what we'll do is we'll take a second out. We'll put a second hold on another property. We'll take its value. So if you've got 50,000 in equity or 60,000, whatever, we'll use that as your down payment rather than you having to have 6 months reserves.
Gotcha.
And it worked great. And my guy was happy, excited. Now he's got another property he wants to refi. So why don't you just wait a year? This one took 3 of your properties that you currently have. So he's going to wait. He'll wait probably till the fall or maybe next year before he buys another fourplex.
Man, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Those are great people to have.
Yeah.
All right. So you're
let me preface this to you. You have no idea at the seriousness I'm going to take this. I don't spend money on marketing. I mean, I spend money on parts of marketing that I understand. I had a coaching gal a year and a half ago. She wasted my time. She wasted my money. I did nothing from it. It was worthless. It was pointless. You know, she was telling me to do the same things I was already doing. It was never a video call. It was always on the phone. You want to call me, you can call me. And I'm like, you know, after the 6 months of this, I just said, you know, I'm done. I said, I didn't learn anything. You want me to get these spider phone machines out there that make 100 million calls a day. And I'm not interested in doing that. And I said, that's not part of who I am. And it just didn't work. So the only reason why, I'm here is because you kind of hit me in a spot. I mean, you sell the way I do.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to show me some things that I need to do a little differently, which is great because, you know, I can definitely go up to 16 million this year. I have no problem going up that high, you know. But I just need to know, spending $2,000 on something like this is typically not my personality.
All right.
My buddy calls me cheap because we're not like the big ice fisherman guy. You know, I gave my portable and my auger away to my nephew last year, and with the intent of getting a new one this year. Well, the season's late this year. We're about a month behind on heavy ice, and so he and I went out fishing and used his stuff. He goes, you know, I'm just surprised you haven't bought your own yet. I said, Tim. He goes, yeah, I know you're cheap. I was, so he's like, you know, I wasn't planning on doing a lot of ice fishing this year. I said, so for me to go out and spend $1,000 on a new auger and a new house, that's a lot, you know. Then you got to buy a new heater. This is a lot, you know. So,
yeah.
So to spend this kind of money, you are my new auger. You're my new fish house.
Well, that's good. I might not be as fun as ice fishing, but all right.
No, my thought is if you can, you know, I think I've gotten to the point where I can naturally, my normal talents, you know, everybody has a natural gift. Yeah. And oftentimes you get to that peak where your gift is here and you need somebody else to help tap into that gift and go, okay, now look, I can get you here. I can pull it out of you. Let me show you how to do that. Yeah. So you got my attention.
Oh, well, good. Well, good. I'm excited to get you rolling. And, you know, so one of the first things I do this thing called the Freedom Multiplier. And if you got a piece of paper, just kind of make it into 4 quadrants. And maybe you've done something like this before, maybe you haven't. But it's
you like fold it in 4
because it's going to multiply your freedom. So
you mean multiply it in 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So let me know when you got your blank piece of paper in 4 quadrants.
Got it.
All right. So on the upper left box,
okay,
you want to put in type of work. And so basically, for you to earn income, what kind of work do you want to do?
Mm-hmm. This is good. I like what I do.
Okay, awesome. So a realtor. So basically, you know, help a buyer, help a seller. Okay, beautiful. So then how much do you want to earn per client? Meaning, like when you're done working with a client, whether it be a buyer or a seller,
mm-hmm.
and you get compensated, so you get a check. What size of check do you want to go to the bank to deposit?
Oh, yeah, I never thought of that. I never put it in that perspective. Gosh, I love $10,000 checks.
Okay, all right, so awesome. So put $10,000 down.
Under what heading?
This is under that upper left quadrant.
Okay, so what would I just put it to? How do I want to get paid?
No, so I would put down, you know, how much do you want to earn?
How much?
Yeah, per client. So when you're done getting the client the result that they want, what amount of a check do you want to go then, you know, deposit?
Okay.
And okay, so we're at, hey, $10,000. So that's great. All right, so then the next box over, so the upper right,
Mm-hmm.
if you could only get paid after the client got the results, what characteristic would this client need to have in order for you to work with them? Just a no-brainer for you to accept them as a client. So I guess let me rephrase it or say it again. So, okay, you're going to earn $10,000 from working with this client.
Right.
And what characteristics does this client need to have so that you just go, wow, they're just my ideal client. It's like I would just love to multiply them. What characteristics do they need to have?
Professional. I like to work with professional clients. People who know what they want. Clients who purchased before, maybe secondary, third, or a third level buyer. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. So I would even put some more things down on there because, like, professional can mean things to different people, right?
Right.
So, like, what are some characteristics for you to say, hey, you know what, this person is professional, that they're having these characteristics?
Honesty. They have integrity. They're committed. There's so many clients out there that will, they'll use you. I'll give you an example. This one deal I just sold on the lake. When I met with them, they understood the process, and they said, "Jim, we're going to stick with you. You're our agent. You are our agent for this transaction, and we're not going to waver." They knew exactly what they were looking for, the type of house they're looking for. Made it easy to help them find a house. It was easy to work with their schedules. They were both doctors, so help me out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So gosh, I don't want to get sidetracked. Well, we have till like how long today?
I have until 9:10, 9:15.
Okay. All right. So I guess on a sidetrack note, real quick, how'd you come across them?
Well, that was a company lead that came in. We have what we call a search saver lead. And anybody who touches our system, just touches it, just uses it as a search engine. And the MLS Online in Minnesota is one of the top 2 search engines that people touch. And so they come to our website and they're looking, and what happens is that every day we get notification of how many people were on our system. If I just were to pull up real quick here to the search saver pool, right now I'm looking at today we've got 12 or 13 individuals who just came onto our site this morning already looking for a home. So you're allowed to take 9 of those clients a week, or 10 of those clients a week. And so my criteria is my markets. Where do I want to work? Who do I want to work with? And so I'll look through this, what's there, and say, okay, I want to work with this person and this person. And so I'll take those 2, and then I'll start farming them. Like I'll send out an introduction email. I'll send out a letter, a profile picture. I'll send out a profile biography of me, and then try to call them. They didn't answer the phone the first time I called them. However, they called in a week or 2 later wanting to see the house. That's the only house they showed them.
Yeah.
Walked in 3 hours later, walked out with a purchase agreement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And did you help them sell their house too, or just purchase?
No, they actually had a family friend who was actually out of town during over the weekend, and so they called me.
So they called you. Okay, awesome. So, like, what kind of check did you deposit from working with them?
40,000.
40,000. Okay.
See the split on that one. The split on that lead is a 60%, 60-40, 60 me, 40 the company.
Yeah.
So that's why I work with these leads, because they pay higher than a typical somebody who calls in and wants to see a house. That's a 50-50. But that's why I always work these leads and work other leads, because they pay better.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically, out of that 40,000, you got so like 24,000.
No, I took home 40,000.
Oh, you took home 40,000.
That was my check.
So that truly was your check. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. So it sounds like, I mean, if I were you, I guess, and what kind of, I would try and clone or duplicate those people, but that's me.
See, but that's it. I want to get back into that market. I want to get more into that market.
Yeah.
In fact, I've sold 4 houses in that market, 5 houses in that market. And of course, every time you sell $1 million property, you get a paycheck of 25,000 on up. It's a nice paycheck.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my manager about this. I would love to get into that market. I'd love to get deeper into that market. You're familiar with Coldwell Banker, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Coldwell Banker, they have a very, very heavy stronghold in that market. And it's about making yourself known in that community. And I sold a house down there. I had a client, same scenario. It was a smaller property, and the seller was a for sale by owner. And the client liked the house. It was 50,000 overpriced. I talked to her about it, and she said to me, she goes, "Who are you, and where do you come from?" I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "People down here, we already have our agents. How did he find you?" And I'm like, "What?" I mean, this is the mentality that this woman had. Not everybody's like that, but
Yeah.
so my heart is to break into that community and start selling more properties in that area.
Yeah. Well, that's not yeah. I mean, that can happen really quick. I mean, it can happen within 2 weeks if you want it to, or I tell people it could happen in 20 years.
Listen, the faster the better for me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so all right, so just reviewing real quick here. So okay, so box one basically is, hey, how much do you want to deposit every time you work with a client? 10,000. Okay, great. If you could only get paid after you work with a client, which is in real estate, that is what it is. You only get paid after you work with them. What kind of characteristics do you want these people to have that's just going to make it a no-brainer to work with? And you got, okay, professional, which is like honesty, committed, integrity. They know what they want. They've purchased before. So I would say those are characteristics that over the phone or in email or in video, you're going to want to be using that stuff, because what you want to do, you want to be attracting those people to you. And pretty much if someone doesn't have honesty, if they're not committed, if they don't have integrity, you want to push them away because you don't want to work with them, right?
Right.
And if they don't know what they want, you probably want to push them away. And if they haven't purchased before, you want to push them away. So if I was quickly doing some kind of video, I would say, hey guys, my name's Jim. I love working with people that are just professional. And to me, what that means is they just have honesty. They're committed. We're really in this together. And when I say committed, like, we're going to work together for like 3 months to 6 months. whatever the time frame is to find you a house, and there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, it's going to be stressful. In fact, with my newer clients, I give them a stress ball because it's the third biggest stressor, right?
Right.
And you have death of a spouse, you have divorce, you have buying and selling a home. Those are large changes, and I'm going to be committed to you. I just ask that you're committed to me, and then just integrity, right?
Right.
So like, gosh, if we're set to meet at 1 in the afternoon to meet at this house, I'm going to be there at 1 o'clock and a couple minutes before, and I just need you to keep your commitment to that. And I really work best with people that know what they want, meaning you don't have to know the exact specifics of the house, but you're 80% to 90% sure that this is what you want to do, right? Because I'm a horrible salesperson, but I'm a really good consultant. And I don't want to sell you on buying a house. You kind of either want to do it or you don't want to do it.
Okay.
And either way is okay. And then I really work best with people that have purchased before. And gosh, if that's you, reach out to me. Here's my phone number. And that would be a video that I would create, because when someone watches that video, Jim, if they don't have those things, what are they going to do?
Go find someone else.
Yeah. And if they do have those things, what are they going to do?
Go with them.
Yeah. It's going to be like, man, this guy, Jim, is 100% my guy. Like, I got to work with this guy. Right? So, okay, so the third box, so the lower left.
Okay.
So we got, okay, the check that we're going to cash. We got what characteristics they got to have. What are the 3 things you would do for this client to ensure that they get the results faster and more significant? So what are the 3 things you're going to do for this client to ensure that they get the results faster and more significant?
Communication is huge. You gotta communicate. Good communication. 3 things. Communication is key. It's always key with people.
And so tell me more about that. Like,
well,
it means different things to different people.
All right. So, handful of, well, my clients pretty much this way is that if they're looking, if they're the kind of people I want to work with, then I'm following up with them, looking for properties, looking for homes that they want to purchase. Emails with them, asking if there's anything I can do for them. That kind of stuff. It's communication covers a large array or large gamut.
Gotcha. So okay. If I'm hearing you, you're saying, hey, communication, following up, looking for homes they want to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to add some stuff to that,
mm-hmm.
it might be, follow up, meaning this is what I tell my clients, and this is what I do, is I'm gonna communicate with you twice a week at minimum,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be doing it the old-fashioned way, a telephone call. Or meet in person. We can meet for a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a different level of realtor communication than what kind of is the standard today?
Sure it is.
Yeah, the standard today is like, I'll text you, I'll email you. Well, that's fine if you want to cash, I'd say, smaller checks.
Okay.
But the doctors who you're cashing that $40,000 check, maybe they might say, hey, just email me, text me. But I'm gonna bet they really appreciated more hand holding than that.
Well, yeah, because with like I'll just say with Tim and Katie, the doctors, anytime they wanted to, the sellers were very easygoing, and anytime the sellers or buyers wanted to get in and measure the carpets or or bring friends through or whatever, they did call me and say, "Hey Jim, hey, can we bring our family through?" I said, "Sure. What time you want to meet down there?" "Well, you don't have to be there." No, I'll be there. And they really were probably in that house 6 or 7 times before we closed. Friends, families. I was there to let the painter in. The sellers allowed them to paint the house before they moved in. They allowed them to move furniture in before they closed. And I said, I'll be there to open the door. I'll make sure everything's, there for you guys. And I had everything set for them before they were there. And they kept saying, "Well, you don't have to be here." I said, No, I want to be there. That's the kind of rapport that I built with them.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So oh my gosh, we could I could talk for months on this, but I mean that's awesome. What I'm thinking in my brain, I'm like, wow. So all we got to do is multiply that person,
right?
And the way I multiply clients is every time I'm meeting with them or communicating with them, I'm really clear, direct, and firm on telling them what I want, right? And I always go back to, hey guys, it's been awesome working with you guys. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are my ideal client. You're this, 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 and this. As long as it's truthful and they're my ideal client,
right?
And especially with these people, it's like, you guys are definitely my ideal client,
right?
And every interaction, I ask, and most realtors don't do this. Every interaction I ask, and I ask basically for what I want, and not in a mean way, but I ask for what I want, and sometimes that's really, really hard for realtors to ask for what they want,
right?
But I ask for what I want, and in this case, it's, hey, I wanna help more people out just like you, and who do you guys know who's thinking about buying a home? Maybe they're just like you guys. Maybe there's somebody at your church. Maybe there's someone at your kids' school. Maybe it's someone at your work. It's a fellow physician, or it's a fellow nurse, or it's maybe a physician from another hospital that you heard about. But who else could I help that's just like you guys that could really, really benefit from working with a professional like me that just runs their business at a higher level? Who comes to your mind first? And I tell you, I ask that question every interaction of a buyer and a seller, and generally I get 2 really, really good introductions before the house is even closed on. And so that way, that's really the freedom multiplier, right? Because now when I'm calling this person's introduction, we'll go over it at another time, but I call them in such a way that they're just magnetized to work with me. So communication's awesome. I would just say, and this has nothing to do with that box,
right?
Make sure you communicate to these people you're working with. Oh my gosh, I really like working with you. Even these 3 appointments today, if you like them, hey guys, I really like working with you. Can I ask you for a favor? And I only want you to help me if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, just say so. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to say, well, yeah, of course, we do anything for you, Jim. Do you need to borrow the ice auger? What do you And I say, yeah, I do need an ice auger. But, even more than that, I just need your help. Who do you know right now who's just as nice as you guys, who would benefit by working with a realtor like me. And it doesn't mean that they have to buy something today or this week, and they might even be just thinking about moving. They might be 6 months away, or they might be a year away, or might be 30 days away. But does anybody come to or I should say, who comes to your mind first that you think could benefit by working with me?
Mm-hmm.
And then all I do is I just click my pen and I get ready to write. And generally, every 7 times that I ask that question, I get at least a really good introduction.
7 times, huh?
Mm-hmm.
On a different note, real quick, I remember your signs now. I was down in Chanhassen and showing some clients some houses down there, and I'm going, it was like gray with the orange Z and your name and stuff in there. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yours? Yeah. I'm going, gosh, remember that guy. Remember his signs. So,
yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. So communication. So awesome. So what are the 3 things that you would do for this client to ensure that they get the result they want? So you're saying follow up with them, look for homes they want to purchase. Awesome. Anything else?
Negotiate the best deal for them.
Okay. So those are things. I mean, this is your. This is your like 20-year marketing plan right here.
Yeah.
Right? Your 20-year marketing plan is, hey, I'm looking for people that are professional. They know what they want. They've purchased before. Hey, what am I going to do for you? Because you got to have that person going like, yep, that's me. But what is Jim going to do for me? Well, I tell people, hey, I'm going to follow up with you twice a week. Meaning I'm going to give you an old-fashioned phone call or meet for coffee every Tuesday and every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do this before noon. So if you don't hear from me by noon on Tuesday and noon on Friday, call the police. So someone's abducted me, right?
Right.
I will call you. And I tell you, that is like, if I just did that, I could sell $1 million homes in Fairbanks, Alaska, because that's truly what that kind of person wants. I just want somebody to show up on time. But I do a lot more than that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But that's giving that follow up. Like, you got to give it meat on the bones. So however you're going to follow up with people,
mm-hmm.
You got to tell them what that means. Otherwise, like, have you ever dealt with somebody that they go like, yeah, I'll follow up with you, and then they don't?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
Right? So if I just tell somebody, yeah, I'm going to follow up with you, and I really value communication, 9 out of 10 people are going to yawn, right?
Right.
But when I meet somebody at my open house today and I go, hey, I'm going to follow up with you, and what that means to me is I'm going to call you every Tuesday and every Friday before noon. And I'm going to update you on what's going on. Even if there's absolutely nothing going on, I'm still going to call you by noon and say, hey, Dr. Tim, you know what? There is absolutely nothing new going on, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm here and I'm, quarterbacking this transaction for you.
Right.
Hey, and Tim, before I let you go, can I ask you for a favor? And I only want your help, Tim, if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, just say so. Fair enough. And generally, my clients, they know I'm going to ask them every single time. But I ask them in a very friendly way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And it's like, I want your help if you're comfortable. And I only want you to like refer people to me if you think I'm dazzling you, right? And if I'm not dazzling you, let me know. And if I am dazzling you, all I ask is that you just tell others about me. And generally, usually by the 5th phone call I make to people, so by like the 2nd and a half or 3rd week, the phone call is usually like this. Hey, Tim, I'm glad I got a hold of you. I just want to update you. We got nothing going on. He's like, hey, that's great. Hey, you know what? I just had lunch with Dr. Fred, and he's thinking about moving. I told him about you. and he said for him to call you, or can you call him sometime today? Here's his phone number. That's what you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you want to lead. Yeah, you lead them down. You gradually starting it, and you're leading them down to that path where it's just a natural part of the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you have to be really clear on like what you want. Does that make sense? And then you got to be clear in asking for that.
Right.
And so, okay. So that's how I would best communicate your following up, and then looking for homes they want to purchase. Gosh, in your emails or in your phone call out to these new leads, you let them know that, like, hey, you know what? I know you're searching online and you're looking for this type of house. I know this area pretty well. I know you're looking at XYZ city. Would you be okay looking one city over? Because there's this one house that's at XYZ price that I think would be a really good fit for you. Mm-hmm. Is that something you'd be open to taking a look at? And I'm guessing that that's kind of what you're talking about, where you're looking for homes to purchase.
Yeah.
But I just gave it meat on the bones with my verbal skills. Does that make sense? Because again, if a realtor would tell me, say I'm Joe Q Public, and a realtor goes, hey, I'm going to look for homes for you to purchase, I'd be like, wow, that's shocking. Like I would expect that, right? That's like a pastor saying, hey, I'm going to give a sermon on Sunday.
Well, you know what though? So some of our research as we've come up as a company has shown that between 60 to 70% of people want to look on their own. Yeah. They don't want a realtor to help them. They're more comfortable in their home, on their computer, their iPads, or whatever, looking for a home. Yeah. And so I have asked people, no, I've had this response. Is there anything I can help you guys do? Is there any particular area you're looking for houses or et cetera that I can help you with? No, we're good. We'll look on our own. We'll call you when we find something. And then I'll say, well, let me help you at least by setting up a specific search for you. Then it comes directly from me. There will be no sold properties, no pending properties. Everything you get from me will be absolutely ready to buy the day I send them to you. Okay, well, I think that's good. You can do that, but the young generation, or they're just now like Tim and Katie, they already knew the house they wanted to buy before I even talked to them.
Yeah,
they knew it. I mean, it was
that's awesome.
That was out. I'm going to give you 2 minutes of story about this. So I had a closing 3 days earlier from my initial meeting with them. And I'd gotten overpaid in this, but my commission was overpaid by 10%. It was an accident. It was a mistake by the accounting department. So it was $800. So when I looked at my deposit, I'm going, that's not right. And I just knew it wasn't right.
Yeah. So
I kind of went home that night. It was kind of late, so I went home, and all night I wrestled with it. $800, it's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
So I just felt the Lord say, give it back. It's not yours. And so I came in the office the next morning, and I said, hey guys, I just want to bring to your attention, that you overpaid me 10% on this transaction. Can you please just deduct it from my next transaction? And both the accountants were sitting in the office. They looked at me like, what, you're asking us to take money back from you? This one gal goes, nobody else would do this, Jim. I said, well, here's the deal. It's not my money. I didn't earn it, so take it back. 3 days later, once I had another closing, I had like 9 closings that month, but they took the money out, and then 3 days later, I get the call. Hey, Jim, it's Tim. And Tim, we want to see this house. Easiest. So what it was is, I truly believe, since you understand what I'm saying, is that God was testing me. Will you give back $800? And I said, sure. And I got a $40,000 check. All so right. $840,000. What do you want to do? I said, you can have it back. It's not. It's about integrity. It's about honesty and integrity. All
right. Well, that is a yeah. I mean, those are things. If I were you, and this is off topic here, I mean, I would be communicating that to potential buyers and sellers, right? Because a potential buyer or seller might hear that and go like, ah, who cares? And that's probably not your ideal client, because your ideal client is committed, integrity, right?
Right.
Honesty. And but you tell that to someone else, and they're going to hang up the phone and go, man, Mr. and Mrs. Spouse, or if they're single, they're going to be like, man, we just found our realtor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's I'd say the biggest thing. Well, there's a it is really getting clear on what you want, and getting clear on who you want in your life, right?
Right.
Because we're gonna accept and help everybody, but we also want to, like, okay, what's my ideal, you know? And so okay, so awesome. So okay, you know, and then negotiate. So I would, for me, I tell people, hey, yeah, I'm going to negotiate for you. What that means is I'm going to treat your money like it's my money.
Right.
So, like, for instance, gosh, if I think we can get this house for 50,000 under list price, I will tell you that. And vice versa, if I think we should pay 50,000 above list price, and that still is a really good deal, I'm going to let you know that too. Because Mr. and Mrs. Jones, there's, just because a house is priced at, we'll just say 600,000, doesn't mean it's worth 600,000. Because a lot of times prices are just that's what the seller wants, or that's what the realtor has allowed the seller to do.
Yeah.
So we might see a $600,000 house, and it might be, even if we pay $700,000 for it, it's a phenomenal deal. And vice versa, we might see a $600,000 house, and even if we get it for 500, we'd be grossly overpaying for it. So that's what I mean by I'm gonna negotiate for you, and having that, it's to me, it's all about having these like 20 to 25 second conversations with people that get them to go like, wow, this guy Jim, I want to work with him. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so awesome. So the last box is, how many of these clients would you need to earn the income that you desire? And so
Well,
I think yesterday you were like, hey, gosh, it'd be great to earn $250,000 of income.
yeah.
And so if that's the case, and okay, you're earning $10,000 per client, that means, okay, I need to work with 25 clients at $10,000 a piece. And, you know, I have, that's my number. Or is that number changed or altered in some way?
Well, no, I average between 25 and 32 deals a year. That's just kind of, if you do the average, over the years.
Yeah.
But the average sale, the average commission level is substantially lower than that. Has been, because I've been working with a lot of first-time home buyers, and don't get me wrong, I help everybody, who needs a house. But I would like to. My average sale has been, last year it was only 170, 180,000 or the year before. This year, my average sale, let's see. Let's see. My average sale was 2 like 220, 225 this year. This past 2015. So I did 8.2 some $1 million in sales, 28 transactions, no, 32 transactions. But I'm hoping to be more consistent in the, of course, we all want, stronger listings, higher listings. We have a gal here in our office, and she is nothing but, all she does is nothing but referrals. It's all she works off of. And, she probably does 15 to 20 transactions a year, but they're all personal. There's no marketing. She doesn't do any marketing. It's all personal referral to her. She does a lot of business in the Maple Grove, Plymouth area, Wayzata, that area. I met a gal from Keller Williams. Her name is, what was her name again? But anyways, she is known as the Maple Grove Queen. She dominates that market. And she, last year, her gross commission, her gross commission was $1 million by August.
Yeah.
Because she just dominates the market. And she went in with the specific goal of, I'm going to dominate this market. It's my market. I'm dominating it. And within 2 years, that's what she did. Everybody knows who she is. She has, and what she does on her open house signs is that for every open house that she does, she has 40 signs that she puts out. Every corner gets a sign.
Yeah.
And out to 3-4 miles, people know where she's at. They see, but her whole goal is that she wants people to see her name. It's all about name recognition. So I thought about that. I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to invest in more open house signs. Are you there? Hello? Hello? Hello?